You trust your cat's food. You spend minutes in the pet food aisle comparing labels, looking for real chicken, real tuna, something that came from an actual animal. You hand over your money, pour it into the bowl, and watch your cat eat it happily. You feel like a responsible owner. But what if the food you have been buying for years, the one with the cheerful cat on the label and the word premium printed in confident letters, was quietly destroying your cat's kidneys? What if the gravy pooling around those little meat chunks contained a compound linked to gut inflammation, the same substance under scientific scrutiny for causing digestive damage in lab animals? Today, I am exposing 10 wet cat food brands sold in UK shops. Brands you will find at Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, and Pets at Home that are putting your cat's health at serious risk. And I will tell you which brands actually deserve a place in your cat's bowl. Stay with me until the end. 10. Whiskas, the #1 selling wet cat food in the United Kingdom. The little red pouch with the contented cat face, the brand your mum probably bought when you were growing up. Whiskas has been in British homes for over 60 years, and that familiarity is exactly what Mars, the corporation behind it, is counting on. Turn that pouch over and read the ingredients. The first thing listed is not chicken, it is not fish, it is not any recognisable protein, it is meat and animal derivatives. Those 4 words are the oldest trick in pet food manufacturing. Under UK law, meat and animal derivatives can mean beaks, feathers, hooves, intestines, and rendered offal from multiple species, often unnamed, often sourced from whatever is cheapest on any given production run. There is no requirement to specify which animals, which parts, or which countries they came from. Whiskas wet food has been scrutinised repeatedly by UK veterinary nutritionists for its exceptionally high ash content. Ash in pet food refers to inorganic mineral residue left after combustion, and it is a reliable indicator of how much low-quality bone material has been ground into the product. High ash content in a cat's diet is directly linked to feline lower urinary tract disease. Crystals form in the bladder. Your cat strains to urinate, cries in pain, stops using the litter tray. Emergency vets across the UK see this weekly, and the correlation with mass-market budget wet foods is well established in veterinary literature. The Whiskas with chicken variety contains just 4% chicken. The remaining 96% is gravy, thickeners, water, and whatever came out of the meat and animal derivatives catch-all. Your cat tastes the flavour enhancers and palatability agents that Mars has perfected over decades. The food is engineered to be irresistible, not nutritious. Cats fed on this daily, bowl after bowl, year after year, often end up in vet practices with chronic digestive issues, dull coats, weight problems, and urinary complications. The most trusted brand in British cat ownership might be the one doing the most damage. 9. Felix, as good as it looks. You have heard that tagline 1,000 times. The cheeky cartoon cat darting in and out of trouble. Felix wet food is everywhere. Multi-packs stacked by the trolley load in every supermarket across the country. Here is what Felix does not put on the front of the packaging. Carrageenan. This is a thickener derived from red seaweed that gives Felix its distinctive gelatinous texture. Independent research published in peer-reviewed scientific journals has linked carrageenan consumption to gastrointestinal inflammation, intestinal lesions, and ulcerations in laboratory animals. The Cornucopia Institute, whose research has been cited internationally, called for its removal from food products based on its inflammatory potential. The additive is not banned in the UK for pet food, but here is the question worth sitting with. Nestlé's own human food division has been quietly removing carrageenan from baby formula and infant products in response to consumer and scientific pressure, while still pumping it into the wet food your cat eats every single day. The meat content in Felix pouches is a startlingly small proportion of the total contents. The rest is gravy, gel, water, and thickeners. Your cat is essentially eating a savoury jelly with a whisper of fish or poultry inside. The bright colours, the cheerful cartoon, the value multi-packs. All of it is designed to make you reach for the shelf automatically without turning the pack over. 8. Sheba. If Felix is the brand for budget-conscious shoppers, Sheba is for people who feel their cat deserves something better. The elegant black packaging, the fine slices arranged artfully in a foil tray, the premium pricing. Sheba costs more than Felix, more than Whiskas, and that price difference communicates something powerful. It says quality, it says care. It is a lie dressed in luxury. Sheba is owned by Mars, the same corporation behind Whiskas, same supply chains, same sourcing networks, same meat and animal derivatives as the base ingredient. What you are paying extra for is the packaging design and the marketing positioning, not the ingredients. Sheba also contains carrageenan across multiple product lines, the same gut inflammation linked thickener that Nestlé has been removing from human baby products. The fine slices and elegant presentation require extensive processing and binding agents to hold their shape in the tray. That processing destroys naturally occurring nutrients. The taurine, the essential amino acid that cats cannot synthesize themselves and that is critical for heart function and eyesight, must then be added back in synthetic form after industrial processing has stripped it out. For cats fed on heavily processed wet food without adequate taurine, dilated cardiomyopathy, a life-threatening heart condition, is a documented veterinary concern in the UK Sheba market's emotion. Luxury, indulgence, your cat deserves the best. What it delivers is aggressively processed meat derivatives in an expensive tin. 7. Gourmet Perle, Nestlé Purina's other premium brand for the UK market. The range is vast, the packaging beautiful, the varieties seemingly endless. Salmon in a delicate sauce, chicken with garden herbs, duck with vegetables. It sounds like a restaurant menu for very discerning cats. Open the tin and smell the contents. That sharp, intensely artificial aroma is palatability engineering. Flavour compounds applied to the surface of the food make it irresistible to cats even when the underlying nutritional quality is poor. Gourmet Perle uses poultry and poultry derivatives as its primary protein source across much of the range, a category just as vague and unregulated as meat and animal derivatives. The herbs and garden ingredients pictured beautifully on the packaging are present in quantities so minute they have no nutritional relevance whatsoever. They are there for marketing and label compliance, not for your cat's health. Carrageenan reappears as a gelling agent across the sauce and gravy varieties. High ash content carries the same urinary health risks already connected to Whiskas. Cats fed long-term on Gourmet Perle are commonly cited on UK veterinary forums as presenting with recurring soft stools, intermittent vomiting, and poor coat condition that resolves when the diet changes. The premium positioning is pure theatre. 6 Iams Wet. Iams has spent decades building a reputation for science-backed pet nutrition. The branding is clean and clinical, suggesting medical credibility. But the wet food range tells a different story from the carefully managed public image. Iams wet cat food, sold across Tesco, Sainsbury's and Pets at Home, contains propylene glycol in some of its formulations. Propylene glycol is a humectant, a moisture-retaining compound. In cats specifically, it has been associated with Hind's body formation, a type of damage to red blood cells that can lead to anemia. The FDA in the United States has prohibited propylene glycol from use in cat food on the basis of this documented toxicity risk. The UK's Food Standards Agency has not issued an equivalent prohibition for pet food, but the fact that American regulators moved to ban it outright for feline consumption should give every British cat owner serious reason to pause before opening the next Iams pouch. Look for it on the label. If it is there, it has no place in your cat's bowl regardless of what current UK regulation permits. Beyond this ingredient concern, the Iams wet range relies heavily on byproduct meals and unnamed animal derivatives, artificial preservatives, and contains carrageenan as a standard gelling agent. The clinical branding dresses up a product that does not live up to its scientific pretensions. 5. Go Cat Wet, Purina's budget wet range, found in Tesco and Asda at prices that seem almost impossibly low for a complete cat food. Go Cat Wet pouches are the bottom rung of the Nestlé Purina ladder, and the ingredients reflect that positioning without disguise. Water and fish derivatives, or meat and animal derivatives, dominate the contents. The named protein percentage is often 4% or below. Artificial colours appear in multiple varieties. In the United Kingdom, artificial colorants E102, E110, E124 and E129 were voluntarily withdrawn from many human food products following recommendations from the Food Standards Agency, which found evidence linking these compounds to hyperactivity in children. These same dyes appear in some Go Cat Wet formulations, applied not for any nutritional purpose, but purely to make the product look more appealing to owners who associate rich orange and red colours with high meat content. Your cat cannot see those colours the way you do. The dyes are there entirely for the human making the purchasing decision. Combined with high ash, minimal named protein, and carrageenan, Go Cat Wet is a product formulated to meet the bare legal minimum for labelling as a complete cat food under UK regulations. That legal minimum is not a nutritional standard. It is a compliance threshold, and it is nowhere near good enough to serve as your cat's daily meal. 4. High Life, a British brand that markets itself on UK origin and positions itself as an affordable step up from supermarket basics. High Life pouches are common in Tesco and Pets at Home, and the packaging communicates quality through natural colour palettes and reassuring language about being gently prepared. The reality inside is considerably less gentle. High Life's ingredient lists feature the familiar meat and animal derivatives without species specification, carrageenan as a standard gelling agent, and added sugars in the form of sucrose across some product lines. Added sugar in cat food has absolutely no nutritional justification. Cats are obligate carnivores. They lack the taste receptors to detect sweetness meaningfully, and they have no metabolic requirement for dietary sugar. The only purpose sucrose serves in a wet cat food formulation is to manipulate palatability and maintain commercially consistent texture. UK consumer communities, including Cat Chat, the country's largest cat welfare forum, have hosted persistent threads over multiple years about High Life products causing loose stools, vomiting, and digestive upset in cats. That pattern of sustained complaint across multiple product lines and multiple years is a signal about what this food is actually doing inside a cat's digestive tract. 3. Tesco Wet Cat Food Own Brand. Every major UK supermarket sells own brand wet cat food, and Tesco's range is the most widely distributed, available across nearly 900 stores. These products are formulated to the cheapest possible specification that still qualifies as a complete food under UK pet food regulations. The protein content is supplied almost entirely through unnamed animal derivatives. Moisture levels are inflated to give the product bulk and weight without meaningful nutrition. Artificial preservatives, including BHA, appear in some batch formulations. BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, is listed by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as possibly carcinogenic to humans and has been the subject of ongoing review in European food safety literature. The fact that it appears in budget cat food sold to millions of UK households is an inevitable consequence of a sourcing model built entirely around cost reduction. For elderly cats with compromised kidney function, for cats with digestive sensitivities, for cats recovering from illness, Tesco own brand wet food is the last thing any nutritionally informed vet would put in their bowl. It is calorie delivery in a pouch, not genuine nutrition, and the difference matters enormously over a cat's lifetime. 2. Friskies. Purina's Friskies brand has a substantial presence in the UK market, particularly through Amazon and discount multi-pack retailers. The cheerful, brightly coloured packaging suggests a fun and appetising meal. The ingredients suggest something considerably more troubling. Friskies wet food is among the brands still actively using artificial dyes in its UK formulations. The colourings serve no purpose for the cat eating the food. They exist solely for the visual appeal of the owner. But the deeper issue with Friskies is the cumulative exposure picture. Artificial dyes combined with artificial preservatives, combined with carrageenan, combined with high ash from cheap mineral-heavy byproducts, create a daily dietary load that compounds over an entire feline lifetime. A cat fed exclusively on Friskies from kittenhood through to old age receives 12 to 15 years of continuous daily exposure to this combination. No single ingredient in any given pouch will cause acute harm the next morning. That is exactly how these products pass regulatory thresholds. But the chronic, low-level inflammatory burden on a cat's gut, kidneys, and immune system from daily carrageenan, daily artificial preservatives, and daily high-ash derivatives is an accumulation of small, invisible insults that shows up on the examination table years later as chronic kidney disease, inflammatory bowel disease, or unexplained progressive weight loss. Friskies is cheap. The veterinary bills it eventually generates are not. 1. Purina ONE Wet. This is the brand that should anger you most because of all the wet cat foods on this list. Purina ONE is the one that most aggressively positions itself as a health food for cats. The packaging is clinical white. The copy talks about balance, well-being, and scientifically formulated nutrition. The product is sold at a price point significantly above Felix and GoCat, positioned as a premium choice for health-conscious owners who have done their research and want to do better for their animals. And Purina ONE contains carrageenan. It contains artificial flavour enhancers. It relies on poultry and poultry derivatives rather than clearly specified named proteins. For the additional money you are spending, you are receiving the same problematic ingredients as the budget brands, presented in sophisticated packaging with a health halo applied on top. The gut inflammation research on carrageenan has been present in the scientific literature for decades. Purina has the full technical and financial resources to reformulate any product in its portfolio. The fact that Purina ONE, their flagship premium health range available in Tesco, Sainsbury's and Pets at Home right now, still contains carrageenan is not an oversight. It is a deliberate choice that prioritises cost margins and texture consistency over the well-being of the cats consuming it every single day. This is the worst kind of deception, not the cheap brand making no claims, the expensive brand making explicit health claims while delivering the same compromised formulation underneath. Right now, if you have gone through this list and recognised 5 or 6 brands in your kitchen cupboard, it probably feels overwhelming. It probably feels like every brand in every supermarket aisle has the same problems underneath different packaging. That despair is understandable. The wet cat food industry in the UK has a systemic problem with vague labelling and compounds that regulators have not yet moved to restrict in pet food, even as they remove them from human products. But there are real exceptions. There are brands that have built their entire identity around doing the opposite of everything on this list. Lily's Kitchen. This is a British brand founded in London, and its entire existence is a direct rejection of everything wrong with mass-market pet food. Lily's Kitchen wet cat food lists real, named meat first on every single product. Chicken breast, ocean fish, duck. Not chicken derivatives, not poultry and poultry derivatives. The actual named muscle meat at percentages between 60 and 75% across the range. There is no carrageenan anywhere in the formulations. There are no artificial colours, flavours or preservatives. There is no added sugar. Ash content is managed through quality muscle meat rather than mineral-heavy byproducts, which means the urinary health risks haunting Whiskas and Gourmet Perle are simply not a factor here. Lily's Kitchen is certified organic across multiple product lines and carries full PFMA membership. subject to the Pet Food Manufacturers Association's quality standards and regular audit. It is stocked in Waitrose, Ocado, and Pets at Home. For cats with existing urinary issues, digestive sensitivities, or older cats whose kidneys need genuine nutritional support rather than daily carrageenan exposure, switching to Lily's Kitchen is one of the most meaningful dietary changes you can make. Applause. The Applause tin has one of the shortest ingredient lists in the UK wet cat food market, and that brevity is the entire point. Applause tuna with prawn in broth lists 4 ingredients: tuna, prawn, tuna broth, and rice. That is it. No thickeners, no gelling agents, no derivatives, no artificial preservatives, no colourings, no palatability coating. The named protein content sits at around 75% across the core range, not derivatives of that animal. The actual muscle meat. Applause is available in Pets at Home, Ocado, and independent pet shops across the UK, and the minimal ingredient approach means there is nothing to hide. The broth-based varieties use natural cooking liquids rather than manufactured gravies with added thickeners, which means the product retains naturally occurring nutrients from the cooking process. Applause represents exactly the transparency that mass-market brands have built their business model around avoiding. Nature's Menu. For cat owners who want a step beyond standard wet food without committing to raw feeding, this Norfolk-based UK company offers a compelling bridge. Nature's Menu produces wet cat food using high percentages of named meat, processed at lower temperatures to preserve naturally occurring nutrients. The formulations contain no artificial colours, flavours, or preservatives. Their Country Hunter range lists specific named proteins above 60% per pouch, with supporting ingredients that are identifiable and purposeful. The lower temperature processing retains more of the naturally occurring taurine and amino acid profile from the source ingredients, which means less synthetic supplementation is required to achieve a nutritionally complete profile. Nature's Menu is available in Pets at Home, Fetch, Zooplus, and directly online. It sits at the premium end of the pricing range, but the ingredient quality reflects that premium rather than merely claiming it. And there it is, 10 wet cat food brands veiling your cat behind labels designed to earn your trust. Whiskas, Felix, Sheba, Gourmet Perle, Iams, GoCat, High Life, Tesco own brand, Friskies, and Purina ONE. Brands built on vague labelling, carrageenan, artificial preservatives, high ash from low-quality derivatives, and marketing that substitutes packaging for transparency. And 3 brands that are genuinely worth every penny: Lily's Kitchen, Applause, and Nature's Menu. Brands that name their protein, list ingredients you can read without hesitation, and have nothing to conceal. Go to your kitchen right now, pull out every wet food pouch and tin, read the first 3 ingredients. If you see meat and animal derivatives without a named species, that is your signal. If you see carrageenan, that is your signal. Your cat cannot read the label. You can. Drop a comment below with the brand your cat is currently eating. Let's see how many of us have been trusting the wrong tin. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another guide. More guides soon. Stay sharp and keep reading the labels.